There we go. Looks better there. Daisy Ditto. Alright, let's get into this one. Mart's Daisy versus TurnipKing's Daisy. A rematch of the standard versus simple, but possibly even more of a true matchup between the modes than the previous one versus Pepper. As Pepper is a bit of a cross-mode player. Mart, pretty much an exclusively standard player, playing a lot of simple lately, but definitely has his roots heavily in standard. Versus TurnipKing, a classic, simple Daisy. To start this game off, I believe that was Mart securing the first point. We are watching from Mart's point of view right now, as that is who got the first line up here. Glad to hear it, C-Tate. TurnipKing secures a point back. That gives us a nice 15-15 game. It is very hot today. If I sound dead at all, and if you hear my fan, that's my excuse. I have no air conditioning. It is deaf. But don't worry about that too much. Alright, we got a nice flat battle going on here. Back at baseline. Mart looking to move up, gets the trip up on TurnipKing. I love that Mart moved back to hit that topspin there. Even though it didn't secure, I actually like the option. I'm actually surprised it didn't end up securing. I felt like he did everything right. Mart was able to survive. TurnipKing able to survive, though. I am a little surprised by that. That's okay, though. Excellent play by TurnipKing to survive. That gives him a 30-15 lead in this first game. Great cross-court flat there. That's a good trip up. Can he secure his point? Oh, that was a beautiful slice. Beautiful slice. Yeah, I mean, I would totally be down to do that, yeah. I would happily do that, if that's what people want. I would totally be down to do that. Although, I would probably want to play in it at the same time. Alright, we're 30-30 here, though, after a nice point by Mart there. We're back to a baseline battle between these two. TurnipKing hitting some middle shots, trying to even things out. I don't have as much of an opinion on middle shots in baseline battles. I have no idea if they're relevant or not, so I'm not going to talk on them in this matchup. Down the line city right now. Mart finally breaks the down the lines. But we are back. Some solid baselining here, waiting for someone to trip up. And it is TurnipKing who trips up first, securing Mart the point, 40-30 here.
Game point.
Yeah, that would be a crazy prize pool if you're actually doing something like that, C-Tate. That'd be awesome. So let's see here. Solid flats. Back and forth here. Just a little bit of a baseline battle again. Not much happening yet. In these battles, it can be hard to do too much commentary until something starts to happen or I get on a tangent. So for now, we're just kind of surviving. Mart makes a slip up right there. TurnipKing able to correctly punish. We are at 40-40 here. Deuce. First deuce of the game. No one yet to take a game overall. Very nice. Both players instantly moving up. Interesting. They've been baselining for so long. Seeing both of them rush like that was very interesting. They both think better of it. Back off. Not much happens in the end. Ooh, that slight pivot mistake from Mart is going to cost him. TurnipKing secures this here point. That will be advantage to TurnipKing right there. A little bit of a lag spike. Hopefully it won't be anything significant in this match. We can dream. With that, TurnipKing has officially taken the lead. Mart just making a few little awkward movement mistakes. TurnipKing has as well, to be fair. For the most part, there's been very little actual attempt at aggression so far this match. It has mostly just been waiting for your opponent to slip up. That was a solid shot from Mart. I like it. But he can't. Yeah, he hit a greedy flat there. Still survives. Neither player able to finish here. Single tap slice is going to hurt. But we're both still alive. Yeah, that's going to do it. TurnipKing secures the first game. Bit of a messy exchange there. Hopefully this latency is not causing too many problems. There is a little bit of spikes happening. I don't think it's from me, though. You hate to see it. Nice move back by Mart there to catch that. Bad trip up. And a good punish by TurnipKing. Secures him a 15-0 lead here. Indeed, we have a Daisy Ditto. Mart just having some slight movement mistakes, more so than TurnipKing. That currently is what is defining this matchup, as neither player is trying to play too aggressively. Although that point was lost on Mart trying to move up, to be fair. Right there, that's the one. That was the spot where you just hit a single tap topspin and you get a free point. Mart instead just goes down the line of a slice and misses his opportunity. TurnipKing up 40-0 here. That's their situation, is a classic that a lot of people miss. Here it is again. That will just score. If your opponent hints that weak of a shot in that position, both those times, Mart could have 2 points guaranteed. There's no recovering from that right there in that situation, at least with where TurnipKing was positioned. And it's something a lot of players miss on those both single tap and double tap flats, to be honest. Just if you're right in the right position, you can punish so hard with those, especially on down the lines. But Mart gets himself his first point of the second game, gets back into it. Rough trip up there. TurnipKing consistently hitting down the line and is punished, but it's working, so might as well. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. With that, TurnipKing will take a 2-0 lead in this here after 2 games here. Let's see if Mart can get himself back in this one, or if TurnipKing can run away with it a little bit. Excellent play from TurnipKing so far. Both of them playing more defensive style daisies, which is interesting. A lot of charge was able to be obtained on that one. Mart can easily finish that point off. Excellently played by him. Got a lot of charge, blasted it down the line, able to secure it. TurnipKing actually approaching here. Mart will be able to punish him for that pretty easily. That will give him a 30-0 lead in this here third game. If he can get a game here, he'll feel a lot better as he can get on the board finally. Not necessarily C-Tape, but I do think Simple can train you a lot for Standard as well. I think playing Simple made me a lot better at Standard, especially because of the whole training weight concept of I have to catch this honestly, and the ball is hit faster. It really teaches you how to move without meter, which I think is an important trait in Standard that a lot of people don't utilize very well, especially Standard-only players, although it's possible to train that in Standard as well for what it's worth. I don't think the only way is to play Simple, but I do think Simple is a great method to get better, as Mart secures another point right there, gives himself a 40-0 lead, a dominating third game from him. Let's see if he can close this one out, or if TurnipKing can bring this one back. Ooh, great topspin from TurnipKing right there, using the height on the ball to trip up Mart and secure himself the first point of this game. Still a bit of a hill to climb if TurnipKing wants to bring this one back, but he's got the overall lead. But he's climbing that hill a little bit. That's 40-30, one more point, and TurnipKing will be back in this one. Mart's going to want to finish this off before TurnipKing can get anything going here. Mart's securing a lot of points off these single tap flats right now, I feel like. I feel like that has been his primary source of offense in this matchup. As I said, neither player willing to move up too much, because as of now, they seem to be getting more punished for moving up. Now, I personally don't believe that's how the Daisy matchup should play out, but I think these two have better baseline games than net play games, and that is why it is working that way right now. I do not believe that is how the matchup should play out, but it might be how it plays out in this one. Maybe approaching is wrong, for at least for these two players. Great catch by Mart. Can he find a finish here? I love the down the line. Mart secures it. TurnipKing was starting to turn it around, but Mart will get himself his first game, make this a little more competitive looking. We will switch over to TurnipKing's view for a bit, I think. TurnipKing successfully scoring the first point of this game. Very nice. A battle of these angled flats right now, and Mart does come out the victor in the end. That's a 15-15 game overall. Very nice. Solid down the lines. We're back to some baseline action. Let's see who trips up first. Both these two are prone to making a little bit of movement mistakes. That was a great topspin from TurnipKing there, able to secure himself the point. These baseline dip battles are not as bad as they could be, as both players actually are tripping up occasionally, keeping things interesting. TurnipKing just hits a bullet right by Mart there. Mart doesn't even get a lunge. No chance whatsoever with that. That should be caught by Mart there, and it is a weak shot from Turnip. Great down the line from Mart. Mart earlier was using a little bit too much on single tap topspin cross court, and it seems like he's acknowledged that, and now TurnipKing is covering that option almost every time and getting punished as Mart is now mixing it up. TurnipKing is covering it so hard that Mart can actually even react to it, I would think. But regardless, TurnipKing able to just blast another shot by Mart right there, just getting Mart a little bit out of position with his setups. Mart a little too far back, potentially. Able to just blast these shots by him, secures TurnipKing his third game in this match. That is a 3-1 lead for TurnipKing. Ooh, Mart trying to approach. I think he got a little too greedy with the angle. It was pretty easy to figure out the correct punish there. TurnipKing going for the single tap slice. I think my point on not liking single tap slice has been acknowledged enough, but it's fine. It didn't get punished, so yeah. Back to some baseline here, back to some neutral. Let's see who can break ahead in this faster here. Solid down the middles. Mart not winning to hit down those down the middles. Mart has the standard player in him. Down the middles are only for dead zones. Oh, and as I say that, he hits it down the middle. Maybe not. I'm not a big fan of down the middles in general, so. But like I said, in this matchup, it might be fine. Probably as a good reset tool. Regardless, though, TurnipKing does secure the first point after a brutal baseline ditto there. TurnipKing just able to move Mart around quite a bit. Mart does trip up TurnipKing here, though. His lob should secure. Okay, nice shot, nice shot. Good call there. I was a little nervous for him. That was not guaranteed, and that's scary. Because if he messed up, TurnipKing would have secured that point. But he gets the right call, able to react to what TurnipKing's movement enough. Mart really just losing these battles. They flat back and forth consistently, and Mart's able to cover those, and then TurnipKing's the one willing to mix in the topspin, and Mart's not ready for that angle, that additional angle. It has actually happened quite a few times in this match, and something he needs to work on. He needs to be able to catch those a little better. We got another little lag spike set going through here. Hopefully it chills out a little bit pretty quick. That's a little bit of a weak shot. I'm fine with the line topspin. I would have preferred the single tap topspin cross court, but I liked it. At least he acknowledged he had a good shot, and he went for a slightly greedier option, but it worked out in the end. In the end, he secures this point. Hello there, Double Guns. Nice to see ya. These are one of my patented 20-minute streams. This is here. Well, you got a Daisy Ditto here, so have fun. 30-30 here. TurnipKing up 3-1 overall still. Some baseline battles happening here. No one really approaching. Just looking for that nice trip up. Whoever can find it first here. That's going to be a weak shot. I actually like that flat a bit. It was a fine option. TurnipKing able to catch it. We have reset. No weak shots in a while. Next time someone hits a weak shot, that will be the moment to look for. That is actually determining a lot here, is whoever hits the weak shot, typically caused by hitting the ball before it bounces, is actually, those weak shots are often giving their opponent a good shot to score on, and that is something they both need to be a little more cautious on. They're both fairly aware of it, but they both messed up a few times with it, and that is typically, when in these true baseline battles, it's either that or a misposition on an angled shot that will eventually trip people up. Yeah, Daisy Dittos, when they get in their baseline mode, can be quite interesting to watch. Or maybe interesting's not the right word. They can get very, very defensive. These two have, for the most part, been able to find ways to break open this, but this is possibly the longest rally of this game so far. A solid 30-30, and as I say that, Mart is tired of this rally. He's going to try and secure, but he hits the flat right into TurnipKing again. He's just not familiar with those angles perfectly. Coming from often playing Peach, I believe. I'm not sure if he does in Simple, but at least in Standard he does. He seems to think those angles are going to be sharper. Those just aren't going to work. He either needs to take down the lines that are safer, or lob if TurnipKing is going to be calling him this hard. In fact, I don't think he's lobbed once on those, which is allowing TurnipKing to hug those so hard. Can someone drop and charge the next, then roll the dice? Drops are almost guaranteed to just give up. You probably just give up the point for dropping if they catch it. Dropping is a terrible option in Simple mode unless it's going to secure the point. And because of the fact that there's no level 2 drops in Simple, it's almost never going to secure the point. It's really only a hard call out. If your drop gets caught, you are in a 50-50 situation, and even if you catch that 50-50, you're probably not going to score on them back. It puts you in a massive disadvantage, essentially. But yes, it is a way to sometimes cause some offense if you're really desperate, but it's disadvantage offense, so like you are losing the matchup if you're going for that, I feel. Solid trip up by Turnip is going to finally secure him this 4th game. That is a 4-1 lead right there. Some very, very baseline battles going on here. Long baseline battles, I guess I should say. Great slice there to prevent himself from getting a weak flat. Very nice from Mart's end. But regardless, TurnipKing is going to secure another point here. TurnipKing feels like he has full control of this. His movement is just a little bit better. He hits a little bit less weak shots, and possibly most importantly, he is not messing up his punishes. The single tap topspin was interesting. I see what he was going for. I respect it. In the end, though, TurnipKing will secure the point. I think a single tap slice would have been safer, but if the topspin works, it's going to secure a point, so you have to respect the option for sure. TurnipKing seems like, as this game has gone on, he's locked in more and more. Feels like he's getting to the point where he's not gonna, unless Mart figures something out, he's not going to be winning this game here. I love that. That works. I don't know that I love it, actually, but that works. That was an interesting one. I was expecting a double tap one way or the other. The single tap might have actually forced a lunge. So you know what? I respect the option. That was a good option. It's not what I would have thought to do, and it worked. So very nice from Mart. Get himself on the board in this here 6th game. That super sharp down the line, or not sharp, I don't even know how to describe it, the one that comes back into the court actually trips people up quite a lot from that outside spot. But when someone gets that far off the court is actually one of your best chances to punish. You just have to know how to move up and do so. These two players not too much of too interested in moving up to finish points, though. They are content to play out their baseline battles, looking for anything and everything here. Actually like that down the middle, but it still gets him punished. I don't know on the down the middles there, I mean. It is, and the thing is, like, Mart is a very good simple player. I don't want to say anything else. He is, but it's very interesting, these standard-only players play a very different game. In the past, when I watched Mart yesterday, he actually looked more like a player who looked more like me. Today, he's trying a little too hard to baseline. I don't actually think that's how he plays. Even with his Daisy, I feel like I've seen him move up and play his T-Camp more. And I feel like he just feels outmatched here and is playing TurnipKing's game, and that is why TurnipKing is dominating so heavily. Because Mart has the skill set I have of being able to T-Camp incredibly from his standard experience, and I've seen it. He is very good at it. I think he's not quite playing how he wants to be playing here. But yes, there is genuinely, you can tell a standard player in Simple, even, like, a good standard player in Simple. You can tell the difference, which is interesting. It's not that they're just worse. They play a different way, and it's kind of interesting to see the intricacies and how they mix it, how they look different. At this point, I've played long enough that I'm not actually sure if I fall into that same category as standard players. I definitely did for a while. Yeah, exactly. That's what I expect to see. That's what I expect Mart to be doing, Mush. That's exactly what I expect his playstyle to be. Even with Daisy, he plays very similar to how you would expect the standard Peach to play. Or even a standard Daisy in some ways. I guess that might be more fair to say that's kind of a standard Daisy thing. With this, though, TurnipKing 30-30 here, 5-1 lead. This game could be over very quickly if Mart cannot get something going now. But yes, there certainly is different mechanics on display from the two different modes, and it's interesting to see how they cross over exactly. Interesting lob. I actually like it a lot. Please don't lunge at that. Thank you. When I see single tap slices score is the most tragic thing to me because they should not, and it makes people think it's a good option, and it's just not. Ooh, unfortunate though. Mart tries to move up. TurnipKing gets a good lob, secures it, and that's gonna be match point here. Can TurnipKing end this now, or can Mart make the start of something brilliant? Oh, if he got the full angle there, it would have been brilliant, but he wasn't able to. The down the line is good, but he's gonna lunge. That's gonna do it. Fairly dominant game from TurnipKing overall. Definitely started off better than as it went on. TurnipKing definitely locked in better. I feel like Mart was not playing how he likes to play the game, and that was hurting him heavily.